I owe more on my house than it's worth. Now what? As an investor or an agent, there are several important decisions that need your attention early on. Like right now, if you're planning to help the soon-to-be waves of upside-down property owners, this needs your consideration today. And because of the red-hot markets in most states, I understand if you haven't given this topic all that much thought. But think again, because they're coming fast. Let me ask you, no matter if you're an investor or an agent, what are your options for dealing with an owner who owes more on their mortgage than the house is worth? Not many. Hello again, friends. This is Alfred Einstein coming to you once again from the Pockets of Specialized Knowledge Studios. And the question I posed earlier in the video will be honest once again before you know it. And while the answer is unfortunate, at least there is an answer. So once again, I ask you, what are your options for dealing with an owner who owes more on their mortgage than the property is worth? And the answer? Short sales. Short sales are all you have in your toolkit to help upside-down property owners. That's it. I personally started processing short sales in 2006 in Ohio, and it was crazy. The banks had no idea what was happening or how to handle it. I can only hope that they're better prepared this time around. As I just told you, I process short sales and work my bum off. There's decent money in processing short sales, but the real money is made from being the purchaser of the short sale properties. That's where all you guys need to be. Attorneys also do well with short sale representation, but I'm not a lawyer, and I suspect very few of you are either. Anyway, in order to better understand the process, let's first take a look at the business of short sales. If I, as an investor, were starting a short sale business next week, this is what I would do. You have to begin by building your team, and the first person on my list is my short sale processor. I would try to find an experienced and local short sale processor. I'm sure there's still a few around from 2007, 2008. In a perfect world, this processor would also work for an attorney who owns a title company. And as long as we're dreaming, let's just say this attorney also specialized in foreclosure defense and consumer protection. The next most important piece is your professional short sale negotiator. And I'm going to talk about this specific topic at the end of the video. Next on my list would be a closing agent. In the unfortunate event that my short sale processor didn't already work for an attorney, I'd look for an attorney that owned a title company. And if he or she also happened to be specializing in consumer protection law, well, that's just great. Next on my list would be a real estate agent. I don't necessarily need my agent to have too much experience in short sales, or real estate experience in general for that matter. A new agent doesn't have as many bad habits as the older, more experienced ones do. I'd rather take my chances training a new agent the right way, rather than have to continually deal with, well, we used to do it this way, and the infamous, well, in New York, we always did it, fill in anything you want to put there. It's crucial that your agent is soft-spoken, even-tempered, and unalarming. Either gender will do. The personality is way more important than any other factor, including experience. Experience can be acquired and learned, but if they're an egotistical bonehead, that can't be unlearned, and they'll kill your business. Next, what we need is a short sale buyer. And if you're an investor, and I hope you are, you're all the short sale buyers we are ever going to need. By the way, investors, I hope you've been spending some time and effort building your buyers list. Because if this takes off like I expect it to, you're going to need every buyer on that list and more. And in summary, find a short sale processor. In a pinch, almost any organized person will do. They'll obviously need some training, but at least you have a processor. You also might consider reverse engineering this a bit and find an attorney first. You might ask them if they have someone that might be interested in adding short sale processing to their current job description here at the law firm. This does a couple of things. It ties the attorney to you, and it ties you to the attorney. So now he's going to recognize that he's going to get a lot of business from you. So this can work out in your favor, big time. Speaking of favors, how about doing me a favor and hitting the important buttons? This makes me think about when I would receive a phone message that read, "It's important that you return my call." Well, yeah? Important to who? You or me? Anyways, thanks for hitting the buttons. Back to the video. Find a short sale negotiator. I promise you we talk about it, and here it is. If the processor can also negotiate, then great. But effective processing and excellent negotiations are very different skills and are rarely found in one person. Now, I recognize that nobody can make, in this case the lender, do anything that they're not already prepared to consider. And maybe I'm overestimating the value of a solid negotiator, but I don't think so. I still haven't thought this all the way through, but perhaps you might be the best person for the negotiator's job. Or maybe you know another investor that's just missing the mark somewhere. Say a wannabe wholesale investor who can speak in complete sentences is a good place to start. You'll find plenty of these cats at your local real estate investor club meetings, which is another great reason for attending. Next, you'll need to locate an investor-friendly closing agent, preferably an attorney. Even if the lawyer's not a consumer protection guy, he still possesses letterhead that reads attorney at law on it. And trust me, that will come in handy. When, and notice I didn't say if, because you'll need one sooner than later, you or your homeowner/client need a consumer protection lawyer, you'll just have to find one. But I would begin my search sooner than later. It's much better to shop for an attorney before you need them. Most importantly, that when you need a lawyer, any lawyer, you really need them. What that means is that it may cost you considerably more at that point. But when you're just shopping with no anvil hanging over your head, you feel less pressure and therefore less inclined to exhibit any desperation. On a side note, did you know in law school they take several classes that teach the wannabe lawyers how to smell desperation and fear from several miles away? I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of not. And finally, if you've seen me live or learned anything from my teachings, you should already have several single-member LLCs available for use during the coming short sale phenomenon. Also, don't try to assign a contract on a short sale property as you might spook the bank. Instead, simply sell the stock of your LLC to your buyer. And as always, please seek professional advice before entering into a contract and/or selling shares in your LLC. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you learned something from the video. And please remember, visit your local real estate clubs. There's a wealth of information there for all investors. Thank you for all the comments and well wishes from my friends. I really appreciate the following on the channel. Until next time, this is Alfred Einstein wishing you a great week.